life lesson that I learned in 2021, it's more really a question to pose to yourself is, what are you trying to prove? And it's actually something that I have up on my mirror, one of my daily questions to ponder over. Yeah, for me, I think at this stage as well, it's a very important question to continue to ask myself, am I doing as much as I feel like I have full autonomy in my life? And people know I don't really, for the most part, I don't really do things for others, or at least outward seeming or outward facing. Like I don't really give a about anyone's opinion, or at least I say I don't. But then again, you gotta always question your beliefs and question what you think your motives are. But I will talk about very sensitive topics. I'm not, I'm very comfortable losing customers, clients, friends for being the totally opposite of politically correct. I'm very not politically correct because there's just so much stuff on this earth, and everyone's just so scared to like lose business and money. As I said, for me, I'm not at the place where I want to be financially, but even at 10 million, I mean, if I lost all my customers and clients, but in return I kept my dignity and I kept my ability to say what I want about topics, then I'll take that all day. Cool. I think I can live off 750k to $1 million a year for the rest of my life. I think I'll be fine. So anyways, I always have to ask myself this question of, what are you trying to prove? And I kind of look at it from a few different areas in my life. And kind of one of the ways that I looked at it is, for example, when it comes to the gym, I am at the moment, I'm 6 foot, 183 centimeters. Although if you ever ask me my height in the comment section, someone on my team, it's like a running joke now, people in my team, obviously there's like a few people who have access to my comments. So before I can ever comment, which I try my best to do between whatever, let's say if I'm in an Uber or something like that, I always try my best to respond to comments in the comment section. But before I can get to it, someone on my team will put like that I'm like 5'8" or something like that. So I'm 183 centimeters, which just barely scrapes 6 foot club, which I'm very lucky considering my mom is literally a midget. I think she's like 5'2" or something like that. Yeah, 5'2" or something like that. I don't know, 5'2", 5'3". And then apparently my biological father is like 5'8" or something. So I don't know how I ended up like this, but anyways, my point is, I'm 6 foot right now, 89 kilos, and all year round I'm sub 10%. I can be anywhere from like 8.5 all the way to like just under 10, like 9.8 or something like that. But the reason I say all this is because I run multiple full-time businesses, and I have a very, 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 very good physique, but I never look at that, or like I never like go to the gym and I'm like, oh, I need to get like to this place, because then once I get there, like then I'll be happy. Or like for me, when I go to the gym, like I really don't care ever. Like, I know like a lot of guys, like they'll take off their shirt and they're like, oh, like the girls are looking at my like six pack, and like for me, like I literally, it's to the point where I don't even acknowledge that I have what people would consider like a good physique, like at all. Like I'm just like, yeah, like I've just got I've got a body, like, like it's just, and it's very, I guess the reason I say this is because it's very interesting to look at the way that I look at that compared to like the way that I look at business. And sometimes I think in business, I still feel like I have something to prove. And I don't know if, that's not a very healthy place to come from, feeling like you still have something to prove. And I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. At 21, maybe I have 10 million after tax, in my investment portfolio. But, if I had 25 or if I had 50, and you can all play this game, right? And I think as long as, and I guess I even look at, like, for example, at the education company, I spent so much money, time, and effort on this custom platform, and I don't regret any of it. But also a large part of it was like, I feel as it was just like, if it was coming from a place of like you feeling like I needed something to prove, right? And I look at that, for example, kind of like the agency. Like I look at the agency kind of like when it comes to like health and gym and physique and stuff like that, I'm just like, yeah, I just want to grow the agency. Like, of course, like I've been doing this for 5 years and I just want to grow it, and I just want to have great clients. And like, I kind of take that same approach of like that I still have with the gym. I'm just like, yeah, I just want to go to the gym, and I just want to do it just because I enjoy it, like I like it. Whereas like I look at I look at, for example, like the education company, kind of like a little bit more like money, like, oh no, like I need to, I still feeling like I had something to prove. And I think at the end of the day, that's always crippling. Like the best thing you can do is when you just genuinely love something and you just do it because you're just like, why would I not improve, right? And as I said, even, you know, with the custom platform, I felt like, you know, I felt like I never wanted to be like put in the same category as like some other like online educators. They're, let's just be honest, like are genuinely in it for just a quick buck. Like they don't give a shit about their customers. They don't give a shit about like building something that's like different and you can be proud of. So, you know, I said I don't regret the custom platform and all the time and effort that went into it at all, but I wonder how much better could I have actually made it if it wasn't coming from this place of like, like I'll show the industry, like I'm gonna do something different, like I'm gonna like I'm gonna really like claim Greensea's steak as like the premiere. And it was more just like, oh, like I just want to do this because like the customers are gonna love it. And I wonder, you know, it's really just like these two, it might seem like the same outcome, but it's not, like because you come from it from two different places, and when you come from it from two different places, you just think very differently, right? And just understand you know, and I still have so much work to do when it comes to ego and pride and this and that, even though like I say all this stuff, but I'm so like, I'm my number one critic, and I'm like the first person to look at myself and go, what areas of your life and what areas of your personality do you really need to work on, and what areas of your personality do you really need to, just I guess just work on. And just like, I'm the first one to kind of put a mirror up to my character and go, that's probably not aligned with who you want to be. You should probably do something about that. So, you know, although I am a person who's on a perpetual pursuit to be the man that I know I can be, I'm still plagued with ego and pride and this and that, and that's crippling, right? And I said, anytime that you do something, and by the way, it can be very good, and I think this is like the difficult thing. You're listening to these reflections, and these reflections are, if this is 4 years ago, my journey, these would be very different reflections, and I would probably disagree with a lot of these life lessons and be like, that's not important, or like, no, you actually did things the right way. And as I said, it's just every couple years, even every year, you have to approach things very differently, right? And where I am right now, I can't approach it from the same way that I approached it 4 years ago, right? Where it was like, I got something to prove. Like, you know, I already had a very successful business when I dropped out of high school, but you know, everyone thought I was crazy. The terrible people said about not only me, but like my mother and her mothering abilities. Mothering, I don't think that made sense, but yeah, I don't know, mother. I don't know how else to put it, but anyways, her abilities as a mother was just horrible. Like the stuff that like I wouldn't call them my friends, like the kids in my school, like their parents would say, and I don't know, this might come off as a douchey comment, but whatever, it. Like, these are the same parents who now their 21-year-old kids still live with them, and next year I'm gonna buy my mom a house. And by the way, I would have done it a long time ago, except the issue is, you know, for me, it's when I want to buy my mom a house, it's not a $500,000 house. It's a $4 million house in central London. You know, that would be her dream home, right? So, it's I digress. My point is, right? You know, these are the same parents who, you know, are still having to take care of their children, and my mom's fully retired. And wherever I go in the world, you know, my mom lives in the same building. I got her apartment here for 6 months. She lives in the same building. Wherever she goes, wherever I am in the world, wherever I move to, I always make sure she has a place 5 minutes away, and she always has a key to my place. And she comes in every single day, and you know, I see my mother every single day, which I fucking love. So, anyways, as I said, I went on a little bit of a side tangent here, but it was all really just to say that, you know, if you're watching this, you know, when I dropped out of school, and I guess even before I had my other motivations and reasons to start my business, and I said a very, very fucked up, traumatic, and well, I guess there's a big thing between responsibility and then just trauma and whatever. There's a difference between like there's kids who grow up with and they're like they have to be the man of the house or woman of the house or whatever it may be, but man of the house, and that's a responsibility thing. And then there's other ones where it's just like severe trauma, because you can have a kid that comes from like the wealthiest family but have the most sinister, fucked up childhood ever, and then you could have someone who has like loving parents and this and that, but they still for whatever reason have to be like the breadwinner. I was just so lucky that I had both. As I said, you know, for me, I had my reasons and this and that, and you know, maybe when I first started my business, this whole idea in it of like, you know, feeling like I had something to prove to myself and prove to the world, maybe that would have served me. But as I said, now where I am at my stage, it doesn't, and I need to let go of it. And any time that I do something with this sense of like needing to prove something to other people, that's when I probably should, you know, take a pause, take a deep breath, and realize the outcome of this won't be as good as if you come from it from a wholehearted. And by the way, everything I do is for the most part because I actually want to do it. Like I actually just want to make more money, because why would you know? It's like, it's a fun, for me, I like building, and business is a game of building, and like the way you get rewarded is money, right? And that's the way that you kind of keep track of the value you provide in the world of business. And that's really my motivation for like 80% of it. But there's still that 20% of like, you know, I could still have that next thing to prove, and that next thing to prove, and that next benchmark. And I just don't know how much that really serves me anymore. So I guess that's something I just reflected on this year.